Mama ever say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
So most of the Galamsey areas, Bawumia say omoba, the Galamsey almost certificate. Now what they will do is abandon the mines. No mines now omotumu go there na. Omo force say abandon. Omo now the Galamsey for normal regulated into got TVs, got skills now you answer human certificate can one. Now they are not all this abandoned mines now. Galamsey for now mama yejuma. I say where to regulate them again. This is something that is completely opposite the Akufo-Addo akan. Over the years, Akufo-Addo buy any now can't wait that. Again, Bawumia one person or the also say I am different from Akufo-Addo. That's what he wants to show. I am different from Akufo-Addo. That's one of the things that Bawumia wants to show. You can see any team no. Some Mahama and that Mahama didn't go for what Bawumia chisa, and I think that is why opposition is strong is good. When an opposition is effective, they force you to think. And you can see Bawumia for you say they've been thinking. They've been thinking. Mahama and Crawford now more a run for their money. And this 2024 elections, it will be good, but it's also going to be based on ideas. Just young voters refuse to listen to these things here, okay? Because a lot of the things that Bawumia can people, I felt like he's talking about a lot of ordinary voters' heads. And so because digitization, and I thought baby warma, then he saw kind of baby because he had focus on the things that make you unique, which is the now national service there, or gold for a year, fresh gold for oil, no. And I have now come to understand it kind of a little bit more than usually. Now party communicators they were all not explaining it well because according to Bawumia, no, we are gold for oil as a way to stem city exchange rate, because the exchange rate, Bawumia had a background on NDC for facing. NDC would never stop talking about city exchange rate because on one Bawumia so the city exchange rate will boil this so now because NDC lose 2016, and one of the things NDC lose 2016 is city exchange rate. And the NDC no surprising. I know my NDC for so I'm Bawumia manate. Say, Master, the city has exposed you. And one of the things that Bawumia is saying is, in order to ensure, say, dollar no ko abroach be na for pressure. And the to Ghana city exchange rate to Suntino. Send ye dollar to crude oil no. Ye gold no mum ebeto. Now see almost starting to omo ya kakrano. So far gold or motimi anya 2.79, which is almost $3 billion. Ye according to IMF. And look at conditionalities IMF for the maye. Meanwhile, not says it can be a more at Ghana just because a conquer for bottom. Again, this is also to show you about Miakas watches our being child. Okay, no frata. Tierra, baby, I didn't also. Bawumia so what say what being child can frata. Because if gold for crude oil, now we can be able to retain dollar. Nanka first one. Again, gold never go to okay, dollar never kebeko. But because he retained gold, we have been able to hold gold reserves. I'll say 26,000 tons, 26 tons on Bank of Ghana. What did they have coming to the total? We have 2.79, which is almost 3 billion here for Jibino. And this and he even emphasized they say, starting gold for oil that Ghana. Your gold reserve, your Bawono, a chain on him, Queen Elizabeth. Now, no, ya before Queen Elizabeth, gold reserve, British gold reserve, the whole room, and your room for rooms, gold, and Ghana, gold coast, here any gold betting cry. So I say, and no building again. I make sure I say, Bawumia chess, I know I'm being chill for that. He's different from Nanado. And to me, and that is something a homework that I said, Bawumia homework back on. No, he needs to prove to Ghana for say he's different from Akufo-Addo. And yes, sir, Akufo-Addo failure to fight corruption. Man, they say me catch him say, a ban of corruption, Kwandia, Akufo-Addo share them fighting. No, said the Ghana for your pete and go fight corruption. No, he hasn't fought it as much as we want him to fight corruption. What you saying? Bawumia wants to show say by this about fighting, and he spoke about fighting corruption. My video went another. I'll come back again and come and talk about Sadia Noka.
We have digitalized the passport office with oversight from my office. With digitalization, the average turnaround for acquisition of passports has been significantly reduced. And today, because of digitalization of the passport office, you can apply for your passport online from your home 24 hours a day. The digitalization of the passport application process has resulted in a major increase in the number of passports processed annually, as well as the revenue yield to the passport office. In 2018, the total number of passports issued was 346,911, and the revenue generated in 2018 was 11.8 million. By 2023, following digitalization, the passport office issued 751,761 passports with revenue of 94 million Ghana cedis.
Well, again, one of the places I know say Bawumia Kutia na no pay Mahama to show you say the 24 hours no. And Mahama and a day, but Mahama doesn't hold a friend saying copyright over 24-hour economy. This is what Bawumia is claiming. He is making these claims. But you have a right to deduce, you have a right to make determination for yourself. What I say, that's the beauty of it. Someone can make a decision for yourself. Let's go to the other side that Bawumia speak about. In fact, education and now one student, he is trying to again show that he's different from another. So another have free SHS there. Or no. Or one laptop, one student for tertiary education. Or more poly universities. This is his vision for them. And then he speaks about first saying coding, first saying cost of data. Say data cry, they call internet to see better so. And that is his vision is that better so. Then in the education system, he speaks about robotics, which is one thing that I know they are slightly similar to the Ekufuado dada, because Ekufuado mini say Educhu is already doing STEM. If you look at some of the STEM schools, what building even that man, I think he doesn't even talk much about STEM projects now. But the STEM schools need to say Mahama e-blocks now. What you know? And some of them are even slightly bigger because of the IT we incorporate into it. Again, like I'm saying, you have a right to deduce for yourself. And then if we be a Mahama a friend saying Bawumia obi anyone ma force you obi asemo nya choice. What I tell me abama bigger quiz was so NDC ni abeku Santana was so NDC ni and then a friend say asamoja or Bawumia dey nobody should go and attack anybody. A choice. Why be attacking any radio presenter, any celebrity? Stone boy, Samini say okostande and now sabi wuni pakos sabi o sabi ebrumin ye tade no but you crashing because a choice say a choice. Nipa kono a celebrity bo kokromoti. Uba America say girl be wa more born your friend Taylor Swift. And for kita so be kwa endorsement for Joe Biden. It's a big deal in America. Obi akasa because omo di ani mo democracy ni omo celebrate for ni nyina omo conform po a lot of the black rappers nyina bebre republic democrat for now no 50 Cent or criticizing New York mayor adaya New York mayor ne dey sika omo dey good credit card so they ma immigrant say and obeto Obama Biden obi akodidi na tem Ghana kwa na abe say asamoja na kwa Bawumia program ayekodidi na tem nkrasesem we should elevate ourselves from there a choice. A choice. Say the war to idea or jump. War to idea also show bottom out to me to Abana. Sana mini abema beku Santana so on the Mahama boy. Or NDC any choice. Big quest so NDC any choice. Mr. Beautiful so NDC any choice. Obisu so MPP any choice. Also any MPP we're floating voter and you also so a bloody choice. Yeah, go back to the issue because issues when they are affecting me no me and your bottom. We are focusing more on Sika Edibeko Fie. Bawumia Canada back could be said pension or more year for small scale miners. Galamsey for no so more about their pension. Again, this is one thing because Galamsey was a major issue in 2016 and 2020 elections. So Bawumia again is trying to use this to show say menya nanado me a different from nanado. Say nanado and to me I fight Galamsey, I made them fight it. And this is what I will do. May a friend saying a pension scheme for them. Listen to what he says in this one. Listen.
Duties will be at a flat rate per container, 20 foot or 40 foot, and that is what we are going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now move to dealing with corruption. I entered politics to serve the nation. My passion is solving problems. My passion is helping the poor, the vulnerable, and the disadvantaged in society. Accumulation of wealth is not and has never been a passion or an ambition. This is why throughout my public life, I have pursued policies, especially through digitalization, to check corruption in places like the ports, the DVLA, the NHIS, the Passport Office, and the Controller and Accountant General Department. So I have a solid track record in fighting corruption, and I have earned a reputation for doing so. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most potent weapons against corruption is transparency. Many corrupt activities are cash-based. Apart from the obvious economic benefits of moving in the direction of a cashless society, the literature does indicate that the more electronic payments are used in transactions as opposed to cash, the more there is traceability and therefore the less the corruption. I would like to bring Ghana close to a cashless economy in the shortest possible time. So far, the Bank of Ghana has made a lot of progress in this direction by putting in place a lot of the systems and infrastructure required. These include mobile money interoperability, merchant interoperability, the universal QR code system, GH-Link, debit cards, eSwitch, and Ghana Pay. We have put in place the necessary infrastructure for Ghana to go cashless. Recently, the Bank of Ghana has completed a pilot of a digital version of the Ghana cedi in Seshwiwioso. This is known as the Central Bank Digital Currency, or the e-cedi. The e-cedi is designed to work online and offline and will be launched by the Bank of Ghana in due course.
Well, indeed, again, Bawumia on corruption. But the thing that, again, you can hear say Bawumia person or this sisu dia. Now, what she said, or you're different from President Akufo-Addo or Tia Kunyasui. Again, I think that one of the reasons why Bawumia is fighting so hard to distinguish himself from Nanado or to differentiate himself from Nanado is because Obian himself Nanado in the last few years, fighting corruption has been a problem for Nanado. And I have said, I heard Nanado failing. Free SHS, I think he has delivered very well. But in fighting corruption, anyone know Nanado has several catcher in his inauguration, 7th January 2017, said he will protect the public person, Nanado and Tumianye. But Bawumia wants to prove, say, me a different from Nanado. One of the things, and this is a suggestion, who will tell the former producer, we suggested this on air. That money any issues what Adam say. Flat rate for duties, and this is what Bawumia picking on. Flat rate for duty. What the 40-footer container about flat rate 5,000, and one no. It's incumbent on you the audition. A 40-footer container 5,000, 20-footer container be a 2,000. That's it. And this is what Bawumia is trying to or suggesting. And again, this is something that I think Bawumia is saying. He's pushing so hard to show you, say, me a different from Nanado. Sadia when Nanado 8 years, on first that suggestion will be mine. And if I am passing Bawumia catch by now say committee. So clearly, Bawumia is trying to use all these things that make him different from Nanado to show Ghana for Amoto Abase me a different from Nanado. It is a mobe susumia, mobe measure me with Ebia Mahama, mobe measure me with somebody else. Don't visit the sins of Nanado on me. So Nanado to be fighting corruption, not me. That is all Bawumia is trying to say. But you coded. You coded. What I want you coded. Now Bawumia be so channel. On top of my duties, not a flat rate. Number 2, he talks about fighting corruption. Say one of the things about corruption, a cost, because you're digitizing yema. So who sika na who manipa. and I would channel digital system and no encourage corruption. Again, you say MPP for by Bawumia has been very loud about first digitization. Digitization could slow down the digitization. I have sat here from Monday in Amakacham to digitization again. President Kufon shot you. Now me say don't catch us and this in a chassis. No, President Kufon chassis with the fiber optic and Yaman or yeah. But NDC took it a huge level. NDC no mama you digitization kasa. O manebo amamodumo but we can never also refuse to give credit to MPP. Look, Obianim said in this last 8 years, digitization also they've also taken it to a notch further. The biggest first killers of this digitization. Hey, civil servants now. Public Accounts Committee did this kind of so I would have even first National Sports Authority for the year by Sika cheer for stadium. Munko Chengu accounts was Manko Chengu another accounts. These are the people I am voters and fair didn't come also. I saw motion on we ways and means cassia. On we ways and means cassia. Yeah, the baby. And that's what Bawumia is saying digitization. But you see, Bawumia also team no be your homework here. We say some digitization and killing corruption will happen. Digitization, it has not reduced corruption. Maybe it has reduced corruption to some extent or harbor, which I say, but it has not killed corruption. For still higher dues ever harbor. Omugusu ye major dues ever harbor. And they are not about Bawumia team homework, but I just wanted to emphasize the fact that Bawumia saw this anyama when you have done a homework or you're different from an anado. And in anado, I got a bonnet, aye, not an anado, Kwayaman anado find a body in coffee, me and from the show no Bawumia. That's what he's saying. One of the things, apart from flat rates now, all can was no. Again, corruption answer now Bawumia de money. I don't think that he expanded it. Ghana 4% would say, Oba. Wow, and I remember Bawumia very well say, for back for 2017, 2018, Bawumia can say, almost person when corruption crack a criminal offense. Criminal offense. I don't Bawumia can want him. I expected his team to talk about it. So over fight corruption, Mahama talking about reducing ministers to save Ghana money. He's talking about canceling ex gratia. Yanti Bawumia or see any amendment or certain portions of the constitution. But Bawumia now can say cancel a year first ex gratia. It is the key things are still about Bawumia. He may need to come again. He may need to come again. But me, I like the things that he is trying to do to show say, oh, you're different from Nanado. Some of the things is that first a mineral development bank now can watch him. TVET, no pension for a year first a galamsey for TVET training or the Bema galamsey for abandoned mines, Bajama galamsey for Momudia so that they can be regulated. Cost of living, Obianim say Ghana big issue, Otina room, taxi, Mobia, Uber, Mobia, Bon, Comoya, I don't check Ghana. And Bawumia mentions the cost of living. No, I said at nearby cost of living, a cost row, lorry first near the. So what he is trying to propose, say, Oba, electric cars. But you see, a lot of people are way against Bawumia and person who dismiss here, oh, the electric cars, and he electric cars, no, Abrocheni Adenia, Germany, my hybrid, Germany, one more hybrid cars. Car no, ban stop, traffic lights all red now, to conserve energy. Other than your old cars, no. Would the traffic mukra chill force German or more approaching the more hybrid cars. But what Bawumia is saying is electric cars. I like that idea. Intimate Sam Ghana for no and Yama Bebraba, Moma young Mahama Casatie, Bawumia Casatie, Kofi Kranti Casatie, Odike Casatie, Alan Casatie. More funny in to say nobody should dismiss anybody say, oh, and Tasmu and you're feasible. Electric cars, no, we have approach and you're feasible. And then I just say, all we need to do is designate charging areas. Even since you electric cars cry a solar for electric cars a solar powered. Not running them, picky solar. No, said about solar, they charging cars because yet here not just like petrol, Sika, Seno, petrol bill number 4. And he was saying, so this is one method. Or did he say, you bet me they take a first cost of living. So because you're from Accra to Sabulugu, from Seji, that so Any asanke go all the way to Swedro. What I say? Ghana electricity a year first petrol boy ya be kuye papa. I mean to so be so the electric cars beba. Even NDC, me say NDC we need they must adopt this. They must adopt this. This is a good concept. Say the bema ye niema bono. Aba from, but this again one of the things that Bawumia said, sir. Ojiri so beti me the or the beban. I spoken about some Bawumia say one student, one laptop. Or say cost of data, Obama data number form. Or say job creation, ombe creative jobs. Ombema internet penetration already. Or see internet penetration. Timami wow share baby, I will share the internet to boa form and Bawumia say on only time no ba Obama internet to boa form. So that even the internet penetration every 32%, I got 74%. I know the area I'm person about me. I bet you fast baby, sir. Because if you are seeing the internet, it's social media crash will show you how internet proliferation has gone up. And I don't think that is really by maybe a government kind of thing, but it could, I stand to be corrected. But I mean, say any third world country there, you need government to build the infrastructure. Into perhaps I had the fiber optic no foundation and internet penetration of from 32% to 74% about me. I say extensive they have worked. What I say they have worked. Let me know what you think about Bawumia. They do believe in his vision. God for oil. Sika do you believe in it? Don't you believe? Whatever you think, let me know what you think.
Mahama PENDREAM TV now so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.